Have you ever felt like food was getting stuck in your throat or had a hard time swallowing water? That feeling isn't just uncomfortable. It can actually be a medical condition called dysphagia. Today we're going to break down what it is, what causes it, and why it's important not to ignore it. And also my own personal journey with being diagnosed with dysphagia. Stay tuned.
Why'd you even call me up when I never wanna see ya? I'm just on my way back home, little drunk and alone.
Hey guys, and welcome back to OMG Nail Talk Podcast. I am your host, Nail. How are you guys feeling today? I hope you guys are doing and feeling well. Myself, I am feeling pretty good today. Today was a busy day, but I made it through. Today, guys, I want to talk to you about dysphagia, which is the medical term for difficulty swallowing. It can happen with solids, liquids, or even your own saliva. Some people feel like food is stuck. Others may cough or choke when they eat. So there's two types of dysphagia. You have the oropharyngeal dysphagia. If I pronounced that wrong, please someone correct me. That definition is trouble starting a swallow, often from muscle or nerve problems. And then we have esophageal dysphagia. And that definition is when food gets stuck lower down in the esophagus, usually from narrowing, inflammation, obstruction. I've been diagnosed with the esophageal dysphagia in 2007. So the causes for dysphagia could be neurological issues such as a stroke, Parkinson's disease, or dementia, structural problems, tumors, and GERD. We're going to talk about GERD later. And then we also have muscle disorders, which can cause spasms. All right. So this is the symptoms to look out for: coughing or choking while eating and drinking, feeling food sticking to your throat, drooling or the inability to swallow saliva, and frequent pneumonia from aspiration. So dysphagia can lead to malnutrition, dehydration, or lung infections. It can also impact the quality of life, and it could be life-threatening if untreated. I want to share something personal today, something I lived through that completely changed the way I think about food, my body, and patience with myself. Back in 2007, after the birth of my son, I was diagnosed with GERD and dysphagia. For those who don't know, GERD is when acid from your stomach comes back up into your esophagus. And for me, by me having GERD, the acid was, so you guys, after I would eat, I would not sit up for 30 minutes. I would just lay back, watch TV. And I believe over the years of me doing that, I started to burn some of my esophagus because that acid kept on splashing up. And acid is in everything: red sauces, sodas, cheese, chocolate, sour cream, all the stuff that I love to eat. Like, I love tacos and stuff. I'm going to put some sour cream and salsa and cheese on my tacos. But that was also agitating my esophagus. And for me, it was very terrifying. I couldn't swallow my food properly. Sometimes it would get stuck. I was drooling. I couldn't even swallow water without fear, guys, at all. So what I did was, when I first encountered that I had a dysphagia, or at the time I didn't know what it was, I went to the emergency room because I was eating some greens or something. I mean, them greens was good, right? And I'm chomping down and my food got stuck. But I'm not thinking anything of it, guys. I'm thinking, maybe I'm just eating too fast. The food was good. Let me just slow down. Because initially, when most people choke on food, it makes, it kind of shock you. Shit, I need to slow down. I'm chewing too fast. Let me drink some water. So I waited a few moments, like, ooh, okay. Then I tried again, and it felt like I couldn't swallow it. It's like I couldn't start to swallow. So that scared me. So that night, I just remember not eating anything. So I'm like, you know what? My body just being weird. I just had my son. I'm going to just try again tomorrow. Tomorrow came and the same thing happened. So I'm like, okay, I need to go to the emergency room. I'm 20 years old. I'm not thinking that I should go see my PCP. So I go to the emergency room, guys, and I get back to the room. A physician comes in, and she put it through my nose, like down my throat. And she asked me to swallow. And I told her it's very challenging me for me to start to swallow. And, she like, try. So I tried. It took me a minute, but I did. So she's like, well, I don't see anything. I don't see any obstructions and I don't see any inflammation. Maybe it's all in your head. I'm looking at her like, I said, I don't think it's all in my head. She was like, it's mind over matter. And at that time, I did not speak up for myself or be an advocate for myself to tell her that's not what it was. That's not how I felt. I just took it for face value and I went home. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm eating in tiny bites, but slowly I'm losing weight bit by bit. And I remember I was sitting in my bedroom and I was trying to take a sip of water, guys. I could not swallow the water. So my mom, she said, you need to call your doctor and you need to make an appointment because it's not in your head. You're losing weight. You can't eat. Guys, I was fucking starving. I was so hungry that I became irritated because I'm not eating. Shoot. So anyways, I lost a lot of weight. And people were joking about my size. She needs some milk. And Chanel turned sideways. She'll disappear. I was already a thin person anyway. So me losing the weight was more I got used to people cracking jokes about my weight. Like that has been my lifetime. But in this sense, I looked sick. I had went from my pregnancy weight, which was 160, down to like 150, down to like 130. I'm like, okay. Cause most people like, Chanel, this your first baby. The weight ain't gonna stick on you, girl. You're gonna go right back to your size. Originally, I weighed 115. Went to 115. Went to 110. Went to 105. And the lowest I've been, I got to 99 pounds. And that's when family members and stuff started kind of looking at me, making sure, like, is she on something? And I was actually sick. So my voice suffered too. Speaking was very hard for me. I couldn't pronounce words properly. So if you was talking to me at that time, which I wasn't talking to too many people, I was embarrassed. It was hard for me to hold a conversation without my words being slurred. And I didn't realize dysphagia had such an impact on my speech. So my doctor put a referral in for me to get an endoscopy and a barium swallow test. So first I did the endoscopy, which they put you to sleep and they put a camera down your throat and they just look at the structure of your throat. They're trying to see if there's any swelling, if there's any scarring. So I got the results back from that. And that's how I found out I had dysphagia and GERD. And they started me on a medication called omeprazole. And that medication is to help reduce the acid in your stomach from coming up. And you're supposed to take that pill like 30 minutes prior to you eating. So I did that for a little while. Still was a struggle. Got another referral. All right, we're going to do the barium swallow test. Guys, that shit was nasty as hell. So this thick white substance that you have to drink, and it highlights your neck all the way down to your stomach. And what that does is it shows the structure of your throat and how you're swallowing. It's a better picture for them. It highlights your body. So what we found out from the barium swallow is not only do I have GERD and dysphagia, I have a delayed flap. So everybody has a flap in their throat that opens very quickly. Mine was so delayed that it opened up real slow. And that's how food was able to get caught in my throat. Listen to me, okay? That took me out the game. So I'm losing weight, and all I remember is my doctor, like, Chanel, we're going to have to get you into speech therapy because we got to get you back swallowing properly, and we got to get you back talking properly, because if you don't, you're going to be put on the feeding tube. You are 99 pounds, and at this age now, this is a year in, guys. I am 21. And when I heard feeding tube, I was like, hell no. Hell no. I was scared, but I also had hope. So I got into speech therapy, guys. She was so sweet. She was so patient. I mean, she really worked with me. She said, Chanel, this going to take some work, but I guarantee you're going to be talking properly and you're going to eat a cheeseburger. And I'm like in tears, for real, a cheeseburger? And it took some time. It took some time. She taught me how to speak. I literally had to do AEI, like pronunciate words, guys. And some words now I still have a hard time saying. Thank God for her and her patience. Some of my food did have to be pureed because it was hard for me to eat solids at that time. So I'm like eating applesauce, mashed potatoes, eggs. Child, I don't got to see another mashed potato. Okay, and even that sometimes was getting stuck. But I was going home and I had like throat therapy exercises that I had to do to strengthen my throat. I was praying to God, like, God, I don't want to get on the feeding tube. People would be like, Shanae, you want to come out to a restaurant? And I've tried and I got frustrated and I just stopped going. I remember when I was married and my kids, my ex-husband and I, we stayed going to go to Corral. And I'm like, I'm going to go. And I tried to eat and my food got stuck and I just left the restaurant and I just sat in the car and I bawled crying because number one, I was hungry as shit, but it just was so frustrating. And it wasn't nobody's fault. It's just hard to watch and see people enjoy their food when you know that you can't. So God has been good to me. End up getting a job at a nursing home. And I'm like, okay, my speech is a little bit better. I'm able to talk to people. My eating still was not that good. I still was very slim. But I got up to like 105 pounds, and that just made me feel grand, y'all. Y'all don't understand. People like 105, girl. And when you're going through something, when you're sick, and you have that type of diagnosis, a win is a motherfucking win. And 105 was a win, okay? So got there. I started eating, but what the thankful part about it is I could eat without people watching me. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes people come in, I'm like, shit. I was so embarrassed that I ate so slow. So that was annoying, but I was able to eat some things. But anyways, I also noticed that stress played a major part in my diagnosis as well, as it plays a part in any diagnosis. Stress, as cliche as it is, it can kill you. At that time in my life, I was really going through a lot of stressful moments that I noticed that if I tried to eat in the stress, the food would get stuck. So don't do this if you have GERD or any acid reflux, but I did do it. The best time for me to eat was at night when my household is quiet. The kids have eaten, they've been put down. I was married at the time. He's asleep and I'm up. I could eat. Ain't that crazy? When you don't have that type of stress heightened, that you perform better. Some people perform better under stress, but when you're sick and stressed, it's best to not have no stress or find a place where it's just quiet for you to do what you need to do for you, your body, and your health. Y'all, I didn't really start properly gaining weight until maybe 2017. I was still doing my swallowing exercises and I got to like 125, please. You couldn't tell me shit. I was like, ooh, I got a little booty back there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Because, I was getting called like a little boy and things like that. People are, they so fucking rude, man. I didn't tell people that I had a swallowing disorder. A few people, but everybody I felt like didn't need to know because some people are cruel and they'll play on that. So I was like, But right now, where I'm at in my life, I'm not in that space. I'm able to talk about it more freely now. And I'm able to eat. I don't drool anymore. I feel like it's been reversed a little bit, and I thank God for that because they said that dysphagia, quote unquote, was an old people's diagnosis, and that's not true. That is not true at all. Now your girl is like 1 pound, and I'm like, no, wait a minute. Be careful what you pray for. You got to be detailed with God. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I just want to gain some weight. You know what I'm saying? I just want to gain some weight. He like, all right, he go to weight. Now I'm like, ooh, I kind of want to lose that. But I am so thankful and so grateful that I'm in this place where I'm comfortable enough to talk, to educate people about dysphagia because it is a real thing. It can lead to so many things if you don't get it treated. So please, if you're experiencing anything like this, don't wait. Talk to your doctor. Let them know what your symptoms are. And do not let them make you seem like you're crazy or that it's not a big deal. Being hungry is a big deal. Being able to not swallow, your food getting stuck is a big deal. And there's so many treatments out there. There's so many speech therapists out there. Check in with yourself. Check in with your health. Maybe you haven't seen your doctor in a while. Go to the doctor, y'all. Get checked out. See what's going on, okay? So the next time you or someone you love struggles with swallowing, know that's not just a part of aging or something to ignore, like I said before. It could be dysphagia, and help is definitely available. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode, and don't forget to share this with someone who might need to hear it. And until next time, guys, peace.
Why'd you even call me